right, so I am here trying to not redo, just go over my Liesa. You'll correct me. Shroud of Dust commander deck. So it's a black and white deck. I got a 5/5 here. My commander, flying lifelink. Whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 2 life. If I pay 2 colorless, I don't have to pay their mana cost. Pretty cool, right? So the whole theme of this deck, I love angels. I've had like so many iterations of like 60 card, and I even tried once a mono white angel commander. I just didn't like it. I felt really restricted. It was always mono white one, and I feel like mono white's just a little bit boring. Depending on what you're looking for, but I always felt it was just boring. So I want to try a different version. So this version is like, even if I don't hit you, maybe I could tax you just for playing your own stuff. So I'm going to go over the deck just briefly and kind of talk about the cards I have coming in right now and how I want this deck to go, I think. I'm really proud of this version because it's a process of a lot of editing. So first thing to get into it, I try to stick with the rule now because my decks were such hot trash before of the recommended recommended like percentages. Or quantity, excuse me. So I do 10. Right now I got 10 card draw in here, kind of 10 ramp, 4 board wipes. I think I'm at like 9 removal right now. And then like the core concept of the deck. Currently at 38 land because I have a lot of ramp in here, but I mean, we'll see. Also have some interesting land here, but we'll go over that later too. So just the biggest thing I've noticed with this deck is just that I don't know, like I just don't get it ramping quite enough. I have not ramp necessarily in the sense of mana, but more in the sense that I feel like I'm kind of off theme, if that makes sense. Like my taxation theme, like I feel like it's not quite taxing enough, maybe I should say. And I always just feel like I'm waiting for something to come down. I don't know exactly what, but it makes me feel like very passive. And I try to make this deck more and more engaging. Not necessarily like I have to be, doing 85 things on turn 1, but just a little more interactive in there. Because I noticed in the past decks, that's how kind of I was playing that stuff, was like very just, okay, I'm gonna hang back, let you do all these things, and yeah, I got a board wipe or something I can flip on it, but I don't really have like that much oomph in the deck. I feel like, and I don't want to always be so reactionary to the things. I'd like to be proactive as much as I can, at least. And so in doing that, I'm hoping that maybe you guys will give me some pointers or see something that like is lacking in this deck, or you could tell me those ways where I can optimize it. I already know some things people are going to nitpick. There's about 4 cards in here that I'm going to talk about in a second, that I'm basically fucked. I'm stuck with it. Like there's no possible way to get rid of it. Well, maybe there is like some possible way, but I'm just going to be taking such a huge loss that I don't know if I want to deal with that. So I'll get into that too, though. So I was just kind of separating things just so I could go over what I got here. So for the board wipes, right, I actually have 4. There's Blue back there getting comfortable. For those of you listening, Blue's my cat. So the first one is Dam. It's 2 swamps, and it's destroy target creature. A creature destroyed this way can't be regenerated, which is cool. Then if I tap 2 colors and 2 planes, I can cast a spell for its overload cost. And if I do, I can change the text by replacing all instances of target with each. Then I can tap 5 for Fumigate, destroy all creatures. You gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. Austere Command, 6 mana. And I said Fumigate was 5. So 4/5 if you notice I'm going up. Austere Command, 6 mana. Destroy 2 artifacts or destroy all artifacts. Every one of these is followed by a semicolon. Or destroy all enchantments. Or destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less. Or destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 4 or greater. You choose 2. Finally, Farewell. Choose 1 or more, 6 mana. Exile all creatures, artifacts, enchantments, or graveyard. Yeah. So those are my board wipes. Let me show you the stuff real quick, although you've probably seen some of them. So Damn here is kind of like a black Wrath of God in a way. Maybe Damnation's better, but you know, it turns into it. Fumigate, little foily action with the Kaladesh. Love that card. Austere Command from the Lorwyn, one of my favorite sets. You want to gift me a box or something? Please don't let me stop you from gifting me Lorwyn. Awesome. And then Farewell from the new Neon Dynasty Kamigawa set. It's very cool. Very cool art. All right, now I'm going to go into my removal. This is what I got a lot of. I think I have really good, like, a really good broad stuff to deal with almost every situation. So I got an Anguished Unmaking, 3 mana, exile target non-land permanent. Excuse me, you lose 3 life. It does cost 3 and it does require 2 colors, but my God, is that worth it? I got a D-Spark, 2 mana, exile target permanent with mana value 4 or greater, black and white. Fracture, black and white, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature. Oh, sorry, 2 black, yeah. Generous gifts in the hollow, just because. Destroy target permanent, 3 mana, only white. Its controller creates a 3/3 green elephant token. And I get the foil version for Modern Horizons. Vindicate, destroy target permanent, 3 mana, and white and black. I love that. 3 words. Path to Exile, and the specially one because I got angels, you know. It's exile creature. That player gets to search for basic land, put it out tapped. Swords to Plowshare. Best removal ever made, period. Remove target, exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its toughness. Oh, excuse me, its power. All right. Oh, by the way, unlimited. Nobody wanted to buy those unlimited Swords to Plowshare in 2020. It's another card. From one of my earlier videos, I was talking about the Island of Wak Wak. Same deal. All right. So my ramp stuff. People are probably going to disagree with me on some of these choices here. I'll put those in the back. So I got a Lotus Petal, just 0, sack it, get a land of any color. I like the straightforward effect, especially if you draw that. If you start, like, I've had a hand before with just the right amount of land, like 2 or 3 into, I'm sorry, 2 into a Dark Ritual with the Lotus Petal. Play my commander so freaking fast. It's amazing. When you get that card out early, this game is easy street. Maybe there's a problem, or maybe that's a solution to my deck already, getting it back out. Finding the mana at least to do it. So I got a Jeweled Lotus. This is just, if you own commander, like, why not, right? Sacrifice Jeweled Lotus, boom. Add 3 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast your commander. But, I mean, so worth it. 3 mana of any color. Whew. Soul Ring, obviously freaking phenomenal card that every commander deck should have, period. 1 mana, add 2 colorless. Easy. Dark Ritual, another one. If you got black commander and you're not running Dark Ritual, why? 1 mana at 3. Lotus Bloom. Yeah, I know it's a little shitty because you got the suspend thing, but, you know, I'm not a millionaire. Suspend 3, so you pay 0, you put it out. It's got 3 time counters. Remove 3, you can play it. Add 3 mana of any 1 color to your mana pool. Pretty cool. Mind Stone. Costs 2 mana. You can add 1 colorless, or you can tap 1 and tap this. Sacrifice this, draw a card. So it's a nice mana ramp. Then when you're flooded, boom, replaces itself later. Chrome Mox, just fantastic. Marauding card, imprint. When it comes out, you remove a non-artifact, non-land card in your hand from the game. So this is imprinted on. It has this color. Tap, add 1 mana of the imprinted color. So you sacrifice something with 2, boom, there you go. These are the 3 where I think it'll cause some issues, but whatever. I don't have green, so this is my way around. This is my ramp that actually this one I don't think will cause anything. Arcane Signet, add 1 mana of any color to your commander's identity. That's whatever. But these 2. So I have Commander Sphere, tap 3, add 1 mana of your commander's color to your mana pool, and then you can sack it to draw a card. What's cool is you don't need to tap it to draw the card. So you can actually play this, get the land out, and then replaces itself all in an instant speed. I know it costs 3 mana. I know. But, and I know I could, like, a Mox, obviously, like a Mox Pearl or Mox Jet is objectively better than this. And I would easily trade it out. But that's not so easily attainable. So I go with this. I like it because it's card draw, it's mana. It costs 3, yeah, but it's just good. All right. If you just have the right mana, yeah, I get it. If you don't have 3, it sucks. But if you have 3, like, what's to lose? You just draw a card again. Giada Font of Hope. I know this is like a creature technically, but I'm just gonna consider Ram 2 because it only costs 2 mana to play. And if you don't have 2 mana, like, you shouldn't be playing with that hand. Just mulligan. So it's a 2/2 legendary creature, angel, flying, vigilance. Each other angel enters with a +1 counter, and then tap it, add a plane, spend this only to cast angel spells. Boom. And the new Capenna like version. I don't know what it's supposed to be like, maybe newspaper or something. It's cool. And then for the card draw. Okay, here we go. This is another one. So for my card draw, 2 of these are tutors, just straight up. I seem to have misplaced the other one, but I'll look for that later when we're talking about it. So the first one, yeah, I know it costs 5 mana, but Vanquisher's Banner in the Time Spiral Remastered. It's from one of my favorite sets, Ixalan. I would actually have bought the Ixalan version if it looked like this, though. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control the chosen type get +1/+1. Whenever you cast a creature spell of the chosen type, draw a card. So a little card draw stacking effect gives them +1. It costs 5, but I like it. Dark Prophecy. This is a little expensive. I'll admit it's 3 black mana, which is a lot for this deck. Whenever a creature you control dies, you may draw a card and you lose 1 life. I just love how like it can reliably do it, especially like I have a lot of token generators in here, so I really like how I can just get out of control sometimes. You can draw a lot of cards, especially if you're spent. Sign in Blood, 2 black mana. Target player loses 2 life, draws 2 cards. Very simple. Can help yourself. Or, I don't know, in the rare cases, I guess, you screw over somebody else. Erebos, God of Death, 4 mana, indestructible. 5/7. If your devotion of black is less than 5, it's not a creature. So 5 black symbols, just like my Gary deck. Your opponents can't gain life. Pay 2 life, draw a card. I know this is card draw with a lot of stipulations, but you could do the effect even if it's not a creature. And I can't ignore that. Players can't gain life, especially my commander. Night Vision, 1 of any color, 1 swamp. You draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. Pretty straightforward. Pretty awesome. Scroll of Avacyn, tap 1 later, sack it, draw a card. If you control an angel, you lose 5 life. So I'm not going to lie. This one is kind of like, if you're using it just to draw a card, this basically replaced itself. So you can make the argument why even have it. But I just like that little bit of versatility added that gives me 5 life, especially with cards I have in here like Resplendent Angel or Book of Exalted Deeds. I just like that. And that 5 is such a magic number for all these, Valkyrie Harbinger. Yeah, it's that 5 is what really makes it because it's nice and safe. I mean, if it was 4, it'd still be good because it could trigger all that stuff, but 5 gives me some wiggle room, I suppose. Then of course Phyrexian Arena, one of the greatest card draw cards ever made. And then I got the Strixhaven version of the Village Rites. So it's tap 1 swamp, then you sack a creature as an additional cost and you draw 2 cards. Costs 1 mana though. It doesn't say it has to be non-token. The other 3 I have in here, I understand that they're not explicitly card draw because it doesn't say you draw a card, but it's kind of card draw. So I got 3 tutors in here. I have Vampiric, Demonic, and Grim. They're expensive. So I only got 3. Demonic tutor, search your library for 1 card, put in your hand, reshuffle. I mean, that's easy peasy. Phenomenal card in your hand. This is like the greatest tutor ever. 2 mana and it's in your hand. You can't beat that. Next card. Vampiric tutor, search your library for a card, shuffle, put it on top, you lose 2 life. Okay, 1 mana, awesome. Grim tutor, search your library for a card, put it in your hand, shuffle, you lose 3 life. It's 3 mana. It's the only bummer about this one. I know Infernal tutor is a good one too, but if I'm at the point where I need a tutor, I don't want to waste time on these stipulations. Let's just do it. It's my philosophy with these at least. So I'm going to add that to my card draw to make it 10. I know it's kind of not, but it kind of is too. It lets you fill your head. Isn't that what card draw is all about? All right. So next one. Now I'm going to go into the core of my deck here. So we are going to start with the angels that kind of add to it. Oh, my neck is killing me. The angels that add to it. So we are going to have Youthful Valkyrie, 1/3 flying. Whenever an angel enters the battlefield, put a +1 on it. It costs 1 and a white. Archangel of Thune. I'm just going to go through these fast and then we'll talk after. Flying Lifelink 3/4. Whenever you gain life, put a +1 counter on each creature you control. Grand Abolisher 2/2, 2 planes. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. It's a 2/2. Speaker of the Heavens. It's a 1/1 white. Vigilance Lifelink. Tap it, create a 4/4 angel, but you need to have at least 7 more life. So 47 in this case. Angelic Accord, 4 mana. The beginning of each end step, if you gain 4 more life, put a 4/4 angel out with lifelink. I mean, onto the battlefield. No lifelink. What the hell am I saying? Avacyn, Angel of Hope. Just awesome art. It's an 8/8 flying vigilance indestructible. Other permanents I control of indestructible. Valkyrie Harbinger, 6 mana, flying lifelink 4/5. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 4 more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Now that's nice. And I like it because it already has vigilance, so it replaces itself. And with just this card alone, you can do damage. But this is what I was talking about with Scroll of Avacyn. You'll see more later too. You got the Valkyrie Harbinger, the Angelic Accord, Resplendent Angel. Like you gain 4 life 1 turn, you could be putting out as many as 5 tokens just for gaining 4 life once. For 3 mana, Veto, the Thorn of the Dusk Rose. It's a 1/3. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. If you tap 5 creatures you control, gain lifelink until end of turn. Next card, Righteous Valkyrie. It's 2 colorless and a plains, and it reads 2/4. Sorry, flying. When another angel cleric enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. I have a lot of high toughness stuff in this deck, especially a lot of cards that 1/3, 4/5, Erebos 5/7. So this will work. If you have at least 47 life, in case of commander, 7 life total more. Creatures you control get +2/+2. Resplendent Angel, one of the greatest angels ever made. 3 mana, 1 colorless, but it does cost 2 planes. 3/3 flyer at the beginning of each end step. If you gain 5 or more life, excuse me, this is the card. I knew it. The Scroll of Avacyn can trigger with this. Put a 4/4 angel token with flying and vigilance. Until end of turn, Resplendent Angel gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink. Not bad, right? Sanguine Bond, 5 mana. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. I also have Lyra Dawn. Oh, sorry. Let me show you that. I got the retro. Lyra Dawnbringer, flying for strike lifelink. Other angels get +1/+1 and have lifelink, and it's a 5/5. I have Exquisite Blood. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. It's 5 mana. This with the Sanguine Bond on what is that? Infinite loop of life loss. Radiant Archangel. I just love this card. I've had it for so long. It's just kind of, I don't know. I like to keep it. 5 mana, 3/3 flyer, vigilance, angel. Gets +1/+1 for each creature flying from Urza with that border. Oh my God, look at that. So cool. Angel of Invention, 5 mana, 2/1 flying, vigilance, lifelink. It has Fabricate 2. So when this enters, I could put 2 counters on it to make it a 4/3 or 2/1/1 tokens. Unfortunately, can't mix and match. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. So you're putting out 2 2s if you choose that one. Nice. Angel of Invention with the 4 swords. Linvala, Keeper of Silence, 4 mana, 3/4 flyer. Activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated. Boom. Karlov of the Ghost Council. I just love this card and the flexibility, how it goes with the life gain and it adds removal, and it's 2 mana. 2 mana, 2/2. It does cost 1 plains, 1 swamp. Whenever you gain life, put 2 counters on this. Tap 2 mana, remove 6 counters, exile target creature. So this can get to 6 counters easily. I mean, you gain life 3 different times. That's 6 right there. But the real crazy part is sometimes in some games, with the right way, this card can have an absurd amount of tokens because you're just gaining life constantly. And for that, all you still have to do is tap 2 mana. You don't have to tap this card. And you exile target creature. So you can get rid of 3 creatures. I mean, yeah, 18's a lot, but you can get there. Court of Grace, 4 mana. Enchantment, when it enters, you become the monarch. You get to draw a card at your end step, and you're the monarch. If somebody hits you, you lose the monarch. the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white spirit token with flying. If you're a monarch, create a 4/4 instead. So you're always getting something from this. And it kind of pseudo adds to the card draw, and it's on an angel theme. But you're always getting something with flying, a body. So it's good for blocking too. The shitty part is if you get hit, especially like with some sneaky red stuff. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life, create a 3/3 white angel token with flying, Book of Exalted Deeds. It does cost 3 planes, though. That's a high cost. I've thought sometimes about taking this out because it costs 3 planes to just play, and then it costs 3 planes to use the activate I'm going to talk about. It's a lot. I know. I just like it, and I actually pulled it off a booster. And I like angels, I like D&D, so I don't know. I probably keep it for inefficient reasons. I know, but whatever. Tap 3 planes, tap it, exile this card, put an enlighten counter on target angel. It gains. You can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. Activate only as a sorcery. So I know that's a little bummer, but that it's a sorcery speed, but you basically get a platinum angel on an artifact. And most of my friends don't play with remove artifacts. So for anybody saying this stuff, it'll probably be out. Heliod Sun Crown, 3 mana. Legendary enchantment creature, God. As long as your devotion to white is less than 5, it is a creature. So like Erebos with white, you need the 5 symbols. 5/5. Whenever you gain life, put a +1 on target creature you control or an enchantment. It's pretty cool. Tap 2, another creature gains lifelink. I'm going to be honest. Why I really have this card is because it gives everything else lifelink for 2. Or sorry, it gives a creature lifelink for 2. It's just so versatile, and I need ways to gain life in this deck, so just adds one. And I like the idea that over time you can start pumping up your own things. And if you have this out and an Archangel Thune, really nice combo. Kambal, Consult of Allocation, 3 mana. It's probably like my favorite card in the deck, but my camera's so shitty you can barely see it. He's there. You can see his eyes underneath it. He looks like somebody too. He looks like you guys remember Jurassic Park 2? The guy with the accent, and he had like the darts and the sniper rifle. That's what he reminds me of. 2/3, 3 mana, 2 of them are colored symbols. Whenever opponent casts a non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So when you get Kambal with Liesa, you're just like, you're taxing people for so much. It's awesome. And if they play a non-creature spell, I mean, you can get 5 from them in one shot. Like, it's a pretty sweet deal. I also realized I might have forgotten to show you Karlov of the Ghost Council. So there we go. Shout out to Toy Wiz and Nanuet. Sponsor your local game store. All right. So there's my deck. There's the overview. I'm not at 100 cards yet. I had to place an order. So this is one of the problems I've been going through with this deck, honestly, is that I suffer sometimes from this ordeal in Magic where I want to do something, but like a concept, like in this one, taxes, but like there are cards just for sentimental reasons, whether I was a kid and liked them, or like I always wanted them a booster, or I saw somebody else who had it, or I just like the art or the effect, whatever, that I really want to use in the deck, but it just doesn't fit. And objectively, I can admit that freely. But I always try to work it in. I always end up saying, fuck this, I'm getting new cards. So I have an order coming in right now to replace these cards. But I really wanted to like work in some of these ones that I really just like as a Magic card. It's just cool. So one is Imps Mischief. It's from Time Spiral, the original. Change the target of target spell with a single target. You lose life equal to that spell's converted mana cost. So an easy example, somebody goes to lightning bolt to you, you can lightning bolt to somebody else. You lose 1 life. The bigger ones are like those X cards, or I don't know, something like that, where you can go really big and you can really mess up somebody, and it's instant speed, so it's awesome. Another one is Withering Boon. I like the idea of counter spells. I really do. I just hate that they're always in blue. I know it's probably one of Blue's things, but at this point, white has had everything stripped. Every unique characteristic of white has been stripped at this point to another color like green. Except blue has the counter spells really well. But I really like the idea of like, I don't really like blue, but I like the counter spell part of blue. So I like the idea when other colors do it. So this is 2 mana for Mirage, pay 3 life, counter target summon spell. So basically counter target creature. Dash Hopes, 2 black from Time Spiral as well. It's not the best card, but When it comes into play, any player may pay 5 life. If a player does, counter this card. Counter target spell. So you counter a spell, or they can pay 5 life. Really good with the taxes. So if a mana tithe, counter target spell unless any player plays 1. I just love the idea of messing with somebody. Like some people when they tap out on like a torment of hellfire or something, and you play 1 and they're done. Rebuff the wicked, 1 planes. Counter target spell that targets a permanent you control. Also from Time Spiral. By the way, let's just take a moment to appreciate how good Time Spiral Remastered was. Whew. Such a good set. So much fun. A reprint that didn't suck. Calling the Weak, 1 mana. Sacrifice it. It's an instant. I know it says mana source. It's an instant. Add 4 mana to your mana pool for creature sacked. That one I'm okay to get rid of. This is to get rid of Pa, by the way, guys. But I just wanted to show you, like, I really like the idea, if you can't tell from those 5 cards I just mentioned, of like messing with a player somehow. So a counter spell or an Imps Mischief or Mana Tithe, rebuff the wicked, dash hopes. I really like those cards. Or what's the other one? What's it called? A Lapse of Certainty. That's another fun one to mess up with people. Just counter target spell, put it on top. But yeah, I really like that idea of that, of causing disrupting people's hands like that. But I just really couldn't find a spot in the deck, because ultimately what I was torn with at the end of the day is the more I put into those cards, the more I was taking away from I lose life, or I gain life, you lose life stuff. And I just don't think that they really had a place in the deck. But if you guys, can figure out a way, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on that. To get those 5 counter spells in, because I was, or maybe 6. I'll order Lapse of Certainty. I thought I had it in here actually. I wouldn't mind that, but man, I don't know. Maybe I'm too attached to this deck right now sentimentally, and I can't see 6 cards. And one of you just needs to come in, with the weed whacker and help me out here. Last thing to say about this deck. I know I mentioned some cards in here that were pretty controversial in terms of like, why the hell are they in this deck? And I'm going to tell you why right now. So I have Linvala, who's an angel, but doesn't really gain life or anything. It locks down things, true, but, not completely to the theme, but not bad. Avacyn of Hope and Grand Abolisher. Especially Grand Abolisher, not an angel, just costs 2 mana, and it does a freaking phenomenal effect that you can't activate abilities or artifacts, creatures. That's amazing, but it's not an angel or anything, and Avacyn cost 8. The reason I have these in here is because I was playing one day and somebody spilled the water, and these weren't double sleeve like they are now. Like I have dragon sleeves and I have KP, PMC clear sleeve. See, you can see it like that. They weren't double sleeved. So the water got in there, and these cards are now irrevocably damaged. I cannot get rid of them. They're not even, they're below good condition, whatever word. It just gets returned all the time. So these are really good cards. And honestly, they cost a lot of money. Like I would rather sell them, and the money I would get from these 3 cards, I could maybe buy cooler stuff that fit into this deck, or that would help it advance a little further. But I don't want to see them go to waste. And I do like them, and especially 2 out of 3 are angels. So it doesn't go in my life game, but I just keep them in there for that. I know it's probably a dumb reason, but yeah, just the way I feel. Figured I'd keep them in the deck, in spirit. But maybe those are your suggestions for part of the 3 to remove to get my counter. And look at that. Yeah. And then last thing to talk about, I didn't really go into it. I just realized special lands. I don't have anything too crazy in here. I got a cool, I know it's not worth a lot, but I got the cool D&D like manual, Evolving Wilds. It's very on brand for Dungeons and Dragons, so I like that. It's my favorite land of all time. Well, tied with Walk Walk, I guess. But this one is so much more functional. Caracas from Legends. Tap it, you can add a Plains, which is insane that this is on this card. And then you tap it, you can return a legend to its owner's hand. It says enchantments are destroyed, but we knew that. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? You can just tap it to return a land, and it gives you a Plains, a legend, excuse me. So if somebody already has a legend, fuck it. Like, who cares? You just got rid of that. That's, I don't know. That is just such an amazing card. Like, there's nothing conceivably, but I would put that card, honestly, in a deck where if white wasn't even the color, just so excuse me, just so I could have that effect in there. 100%. I would rather just put an extra land in there, like a blue control deck or something. Even if I didn't splash white, like I that card is so good. I don't care what anybody says. You can't convince me. That card has saved me so many times, and maybe because it's my play group only. But hey, that's what matters, who you play with. So those are most. I got a few other lands in here. I got a Django's Django. I don't know. I'm gonna butcher Americanize that. Django's Castle. One to add a plains, which never underestimate that. Tap a plains, tap it, prevent 2 damage that will be dealt to legendary creature. I got a Concealed Courtyard for the dual land. You just need 2 or fewer. Fabled Passes from the Secret Lair Hollow. Tap, search for any basic. So yeah, it's basic, but it's anything, so it's convenient. Castle Lockwane. I've talked about that a million times. Produces a swamp, comes out untapped as long as you control swamp. Tap 4, including 3 and this, 4 total. Get to draw a card. You just lose life equal to the amount of cards in your hand. That's the only thing. The stick's a little slow, so yeah, card's a little iffy. Witch's Cottage. You can tap it to add 1 swamp. When it enters the battlefield, it enters tapped unless you control 3 or more swamp. When it enters untapped, you put a card from your graveyard on top of your deck. This commander, I just like that little bit, and I like Throne of Eldraine, so I like the idea that I could potentially get a card back, and if they have to rush it out and forget the effect, that's fine. I have a lot of token generators anyway, so. Got a command tower, just tap it to add any mana in my commander's color. Cave of Kolios, this has 1 colorless, so I could pay 1 life and add either or. Forbidden Orchard, add 1 mana of any color that an opponent could produce, so I just like that little bit. Isolated Chapel comes in tapped unless you control plains or a swamp, and then you can add either color. Shine, oh boy, this is hard. Try saying this 3 times fast. Shine Shadow Snarl. Shine Shadow Snarl. I sound like the Grinch. From Jim Carrey. See, I did already. As this card enters the battlefield, you may reveal a plains or swamp from your hand. If you don't, it enters tapped, and you can add either or again. I like that card. I got a Grimclaw Pathway or a Bright Climb Pathway. You can tap it, and whatever side you choose, you get to add a plains or a swamp. It's basically one of those where you have to choose the one, but I like the flexibility. Silent Clearing. It adds 1. I can pay 1 life and add either color, or I can pay 1, tap it, sacrifice this, and draw a card. So I get the mana just at a cost of life, whatever I'm gaining. And I get to draw a card later, which is pretty cool. So the expeditions end began the Marsh's story. It's interesting. It's cool. I also have a Leech-Ridden Swamp. It enters tap, which sucks, but I can tap it to add a swamp or tap this card and a swamp. Each opponent loses 1 life, but I need 2 black permanents. I get this busted up City of Brass from the 8th edition. When it becomes tapped, it deals 1 damage to you, but you add a mana of any color. My goal is to one day have the Arabian Nights one. Such a great card. Finally, best land I have in here, Scrubland from the Collector's Edition. It comes out untapped, produces either color. Counts as both. I mean, beautiful. Done. Lastly, Emiria the Sky Ruin comes in tap. I need 7 or more planes to trigger this, but if I do, I can return target creature from the graveyard to the battlefield, and it produces 1 planes. I know what you're thinking. Why do you have this? The odds of you having 7 planes, I'm not going to lie. Like, that game has gone on for a long time, or you just had a weird draw, because I don't have that many planes in here. But I do have more than 7. The effect is really dope if you get it running, like a little reanimator thing, and in white, which is cool. But again, this is one of the cards that was irrevocably damaged, so I just hold on to it for that reason. So thank you guys for listening to my descriptions and my dilemmas. Please, any feedback, leave me, MTG Vault, leave me on the comments section, whatever. I'll put this up on YouTube as well. All right. Thank you guys. Really appreciate you listening. Have a good one out there, and thanks for taking this journey with me. Take care.